Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you to all those who have subscribed. I hope to keep you entertained so that you'll stick around. So today, I'm going to be talking about being pregnant during the pandemic. Yes, it has been a roller coaster. And yes, I'm pregnant. So today, I'll be talking about what the prenatal visits have been like, the fear and anxiety that I have had to deal with because of COVID, what I have done to deal with the fear and anxiety, and also how things have changed over the last few weeks as the government of Jamaica has lifted some of the restrictions. When Jamaica had its first COVID-19 case, I was already weeks pregnant. There was a lot of buzz, a lot of talking about it. I work in a medical facility, and so, the little thought crossed my mind like, okay, COVID is here. This is where I work, nurses, doctors, patients. I wasn't really scared or anxious yet. As you know, as time went by, we had more and more cases, and the country eventually had some temporary lockdown, shutdown, stay in your yard, tan in your yard, etc., etc., etc. So non-essential workers were ordered to stay home, and so I worked from home 5 days a week. Prenatal visits. I had already selected an obstetrician, started visiting him, but my husband and I, we decided to change to another obstetrician. Usually, when you get pregnant, it's good to have someone, a medical professional, monitor you throughout the pregnancy so that potential and actual threats or complications can be picked up soon enough during pregnancy so that they can be properly managed, because you want to have a healthy baby and a safe delivery. So the prenatal visits are usually every 4 weeks at one part of the pregnancy, but due to COVID, they had increased that to every 6 weeks to reduce pregnant mothers having to go into a medical facility, sit in the waiting area, wait to see a doctor, interact with a doctor who saw other patients who maybe could have had COVID, yada, yada, yada. So it had increased to 6 weeks. Something else that happened, talking about prenatal visits, you're having your first child, you want your partner to be there in the room with you. It's so nice. You're making memories. But because of COVID, my husband had to stay in the car. My obstetrician is nice enough to have had him call in and be in the visit via the phone call or a video call. If we didn't have enough credit, he would offer to use his phone to call my husband, which, I thought that was so very nice, because we want to both be there along the journey for every memory. I didn't want him to miss out. I didn't want to have to go home that evening and have to say, okay, so the obstetrician said this and that and that. No, I wanted him to hear it for himself and ask questions if he would have any, because he always has questions. As time went by, we began to learn about how COVID-19 would affect, impact pregnancy, the entire thing, the journey, the delivery. And something that really hit me hard was when I heard that the husband would not be allowed in the delivery room. The husband would not be allowed in the delivery room. I was not happy to hear that. I understand why that stance was taken, but going back to what I said before, this is our first child. We want to be there. I want to record certain things in the delivery room, vlog, memories, take pictures, and to be told that it's just going to be you and your doctor and the nurse, it hit a little hard for me, because you have your birth plan, you want it to go this way and you want it to go that way, but it's always good to have an open mind, because the reality is anything can happen. I could be home one day and my husband be at work and I suddenly go into labor and then boom, baby come quick, bam, reach baby born. So, all of the things can happen. But as for the permission part, not being allowed, it's a little different than expecting emergencies. So, prenatal visits, we're going well. Baby's good, baby's progressing, mommy's good, everybody's happy. And then Jodie and Ferron dies, and it's all over the news. I felt like I knew her. Like, I don't know if any of you have ever experienced that. You hear something, You don't know the person, but the news is just so hard, and you perhaps can relate to certain aspects of it, which was my case. She died during labor. I'm pregnant. I'm about to be in labor while COVID is still around. So it really took a toll on my mind. And I really had to fall on my knees and pray. Yes, I'm a Christian, proudly. If I didn't know God, I don't know what would have happened during this pregnancy, because the stress, the fear, the anxiety, it was really much. I had to go in my room that day, lock my door, and I just went on my knees and I just started praying and bawling to God. And I said, God, give me peace of mind. Because let me explain to you how bad the anxiety was, guys. You know, when you're pregnant, you sleep enough, right? There will be times when I would come in my bed and lay down and say, all right, I'm going to take a little one nap. And it would maybe be like, okay, it's 11 a.m. and I want to start cooking my dinner at 1. But then I lay down in bed and all of a sudden my mind is just like, okay, you have to cook. And my heart just start racing over the fact that I need to cook at 1 and it's 11. And I just can't fall asleep. And if I do doze off, it wakes me back up. That's how bad my anxiety was. Another example, my boss will give me a task at work. And always trying to stay on top of my tasks. I'm not perfect, you know, it's room for improvement, but I'm pretty good. So I'll be thinking about something that, you know, maybe I didn't do or forgot to do, and then maybe a text coming from her same time, and maybe the text is not about that. But the moment I see my boss's name, my heart races like horses, and it's just going and going. And at one point, at first, I was ignoring it, the anxiety, separate and apart from the anxiety I faced due to Jodian's unfortunate passing. I was ignoring it, but then I realized that it was causing my blood pressure to be borderline, and that is a recipe for disaster, okay? So I had to take it into my hands and talk to myself and say, look, Shevaughn, you cannot continue like this, okay? Make a list, write things down, pray about it, talk about it. So I had to talk to my husband. I also spoke to my boss about it. And it's always good to get sound advice. We're not above it. Sometimes you feel like you don't want to tell someone something because it makes you so vulnerable and the person is going to see it as weak and puny. But the reality is we're human, and we all have those times when you just need someone to talk to you and say, look, it's okay that you're feeling that way, but it's not okay. And this is what you need to do. Try this, try that, do this, do that. And it really helped me to speak to my husband and to speak to my boss and also to another one of my coworkers. So the fear and anxiety and stress, it started to lessen to the point where now it's under control. Thanks be to God. My blood pressure is no longer borderline. Thanks be to God. When you're pregnant, there are a lot of hormonal changes that happen in your body, which will cause you to have anxiety naturally. Add COVID to that. Add a pregnant woman dying because they thought she had COVID to that. And add the summer heat, yes guys, it's hot. All of those things combined, listen, it was hard and it was rough, but I've gotten past that and I'm happy I did. So COVID is here. What can I do about it? I can only use wisdom, be safe when I have to go on the road, wear my mask, wash your hands, just do what you got to do and pray. The truth is you can do every single thing as it regards sanitation, and you can miss that one little thing and you end up with COVID. So yes, I'm a strong believer in prayer and praying about everything. So the government of Jamaica has started to lift some of the restrictions, to some people's pleasure, to some people's displeasure. Regardless, it's happening. And what this has done for me during this time is that my husband is now allowed to be in the room in my prenatal visit. You thought I was going to say be in the room during delivery, right? Gotcha. But yeah, he's not allowed to sit in the room, which is good. Very good. I still don't know if he's going to be allowed in the delivery room, so let me pray on that. I really hope he is. I'll ask that question at my next prenatal checkup. But yeah. Oh, one more thing that has changed. The 6-week thing, it now went back to 4 weeks. So I now see my obstetrician every 4 weeks until I get to a particular part of pregnancy or stage or trimester where you see them more frequently. So guys, I do plan on doing more videos about being pregnant, but I want you to comment below if you would like to be a part of the rest of the journey, because you know, it's not the beginning of a journey. There comes a point in the pregnancy where the baby can hear. And so it's good to speak to the baby, sing to the baby, read to the baby, even to play alphabet songs and sing the numbers and all these other things. The baby starts remembering them and hearing them and recognizing them when he or she's born. So one thing I've been doing is reading. I've been reading this book along with another prior book and along with reading a particular scripture, my husband and I, to the baby every day. We sing to the baby and, you know, just talk to her. I mean, whether you deliberately talk to the baby or not, the baby's going to hear that distinct voice or those distinct voices every day. And so the repetition and the frequency will allow the baby to recognize when he or she is born, recognize the voice and say, I remember that voice. So this book is called a belly book. It has a little cutout so it can sit on your belly, you know, for comfort, because your belly is very big. But it's a pretty nice book, you know, and I read it almost every day. So the next thing is, when you're pregnant, it's good to journal. It's good to take memories, take photos, write things down as you go through the different trimesters, because it's a beautiful journey, it's a beautiful experience. Sometimes I sit and I think and I say, oh my God, there's a little human inside me. Especially when you start feeling the little twitches, the little movement, and then those gradually become kicks. Believe me, it's a really nice thing to experience. So I have this journal that I use. I'm not going to go through it now because this video is probably getting too long. But I can show you some of these pages some other time. Comment below and let me know if you would like to see that. So let's wrap this video up. I'm pregnant, living in Jamaica. COVID is living in Jamaica. COVID is here, and the reality is it does change our normal. And in changing our normal, it can cause you to stress. So if you're out there and you're pregnant, or whether you're pregnant or not, but you know, since this video is about pregnancy, if you're out there and you're pregnant, just try to find ways to cope, because the stress can have adverse effects on you and your little bundle of joy, that little bun in the oven. You want to minimize the stress as much as possible. You want to be the baby that you want to have. So you want to be happy. You want to think positive. You want to be bubbly. If you're stressed and just down all the time, it will affect the child. And all we know is that stress amplify or causes sicknesses, health issues, etc., etc. And when you're pregnant, your immune system is already compromised, so you don't want to add that to the recipe. So pray, meditate, sing, run, exercise, talk to somebody, write things down, watch inspiring videos like mine. Look at other persons who may be experiencing, you know, the same thing that you are, and see how they've dealt with it. You may come upon sad stories, unfortunate stories where persons have died. Like I saw one a few days ago, a pregnant woman had her baby, but she caught COVID like maybe 2 weeks before she delivered, and it was tragic. The baby's alive, but she's not. So you might come upon stories like that, but that's not your story. You don't know what your story is gonna be. So you just have to be positive. And I can't stress praying enough, because that's my strength, okay? So, thank you for taking time to watch this video. If you want to see more videos about my pregnancy journey, please let me know below. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and share it with a friend. See you soon.